Yes, boys. So we have officially just crossed 11K in floating profits for the month of January. So that's 11K in open positions. So around 9K already closed. So just so you know, I'm not chatting shite. And I want to basically in this video, I'm going to break down all of the most recent trades and go through the whole strategy. So literally watching this, you'll know exactly how I'm taking these trades. Literally, it's a mechanical model. So you'll actually know the model from start to finish. But just so you know, I'm not chatting shite. I'll just go through the accounts. So you can see here, all live accounts, qualified, qualified, qualified. So floating 2.1 on this, another 2.3 here. So that's what, 4.4. I'm losing track, 5.8. Another K here, 6, 7. I'm losing track. But anyways, I just added it all up and then floating another 4K in this. So 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, yeah, 11 something. You do the maths. It's again, it's floating now, so it's constantly changing. But it's just been a phenomenal month, and futures has just been so outperforming my CFD accounts. So my payout this month is for sure going to be from futures. And I'm not actually going to take a payout from my CFDs. Probabilities just playing out on different time horizons. Why it's so important to diversify, and why it's so important to be trading futures and CFDs. It's only a recent revelation of mine, and fucking hell, I wish I did it longer or earlier. So let's go to the whole model. So it's a 4-step mechanical model. Mechanical meaning we do the same thing every single time. So if we look at gold right now, we look here, we can see all of these entries are, oopsie daisies, are the exact same. So we have a sweep of a level and break of structure, set the Fibonacci, tagged in. Sweep of a level, break of structure, set the Fibonacci, tagged in, straight to stop loss. Sweep of a level, you get the idea. Break of structure, dinked in 3 to 1, and this is the current trade. So this one here, you can see it's very outsized. It's because we have a method inside TTC where we actually trail the stop loss. You can see here FOL stands for fuck off level. So you just fuck off your take profit and then just leave your stop loss here and then just let it run. Could have done that yesterday as well, but I was driving and these hit take profit while I was literally in the car, so I couldn't do anything about it. So the model, anyways, 4 steps to this model. As I said, it's mechanical, so it is so easy. Genuinely, you could teach your little sister this model. So it is: 1 is bias, 2 sweep, 3 fake out, and a 4th one then is break of structure. Once you have the break of structure, you set your limit order and you let that play out. Just let it get tagged in. No manually finicking around and dawdling around and just getting bad fills. It's all mechanical, everything. So you know, and on this model, we risk 1 to make 3, fixed risk 3 to 1 every single time. And because we use limit orders, we actually get 3 to 1. You know what I mean? Like, look how this one got tagged in. You can see here on the FX one, it didn't even touch. On my futures, it got tagged in. That's why it's another very important. You set your limits based on the actual platform that you're trading on. So let's look at yesterday. We can see here, I got tagged in here, dink, touched it based on this feed, this live feed, which I was using. But you can see here, this feed didn't get tagged. So if I was trading this on my CFDs, I wouldn't have been tagged in. So it's very, very important to use a live feed of what you're actually trading. So 4 steps. First one is bias. So the only indicator that you will need is the fractals indicator here. This is one of the indicators that one of the boys whipped up. Shout out Ben. And it's just to automate the session times, which we'll go through. So fractals by Rachel T. 100% get that on your chart. It is probably the most useful indicator I've ever found because, well, I didn't find it. I've ever been introduced to. Shout out Berg. It's just because this is how you can 100% mechanicalize a system. If you don't have an indicator like this, it's going to be very hard to define exactly which break of structure you mean, exactly how you're calculating certain things. Whereas with this, it basically defines significant highs and lows. So this is the only highs and lows that we care about. So when it comes to bias, all we're looking for is a 4-hour most recent break of structure above a fractal. So the fractals are the candles with the triangles over them. So we're looking for body closure over a fractal. Body closure means the body closes over the entire candle with the fractal on it. We don't care about closing over the triangle. It's over the entire candle. body and wick included. So if this was to close, break this structure level here and close here with the body, that wouldn't be a break of structure because we have to close above. We have to swallow the entire wick and body. Cool. So our bias, most recent break of structure was to the upside. Therefore, our bias is bullish. So now we're only looking for longs. Now we hop in and we mark out our session times. So the session times we use is Asia is 12 till 8, London is 8 till 1, and then New York is 1 onwards. So, looking like we might have a little pullback here on gold. So next step. Also train of thought there. We have our bias. Now we're looking for the sweep. So because our bias is bullish, we're only looking for sweeps of the lows. So what we do, and when we're looking at sweeps, we're only focused on the previous session. So because our bias is bullish, previous session low. So this is the only area that we care about. The lowest point excuse me, of trading between Asia, the 8th session from 12 till 8. So here would be the highest point. Here's the lowest point. We mark that out, set an alert, and don't come near the chart again until that alert goes off. Once that alert goes off, that means that we've swept. So now we've got bias, check, sweep, check. Now we're looking for a fake out. A fake out is basically a way to mechanicalize early buyers getting washed out. So people are too eager. As they say, the second mouse always gets the cheese. Don't let these fuckers, they rush in trying to be sick and they just get washed out. So fake out, we need to have a bullish candle in the direction that we're trading. So because we are bullish, we need to have a 5-minute candle in the direction that we're trading. Because we're bullish, we need to wait for the first 5-minute candle to close after we've swept the low. That is here. And when that happens, what we do is we measure our fake out zone. We do that in a bullish example. We go from top to bottom, from the highest point of the current and previous session to the lowest point after the fake out candle has printed, after the bullish candle is printed. And then what we want to do is we want to just wait for price to touch back into this area. So you can see here, this mechanical rule, it's 100% defined, stopped us from buying here. We had to, because we couldn't take an entry until price touches it. Once price touches this blue level, we are now faked out. This is now step 3, check. Once we've just touched that, it can wick it can body close the whole way through it. We don't care. It just has to touch that blue line. Once it does that, we delete the fib. And now, last and final step is we're waiting for a breakage structure on the 5-minute chart over a 5-minute fractal. So same rule applies. It has to be a body closure over the entire candle. Here, look at this. Almost closes, but doesn't close over the entire candle. Not a break structure. And caveat, it has to be the most recent fractal. We can't count this breakage structure here, this candle body closure, closing over here as a breakage structure because this is the most recent fractal. So we have to wait till we close above here. Boom. As soon as this candle closes, this entry has now been activated. We now set our limit entries. Where do we put them? Where do we put them? Get our fib out again and measure the opposite way. So because we're buying, we go from lowest point of the current session to the highest point since the breakage structure. So that actually would have been here. This would have been the highest point since the breakage structure. Then the next candle doesn't tag us in and it pushes up. So what do? We follow price up until we get tagged in. So you see here, follow until this high here, follow that there, and we get tagged in. Boom. And so what we do, we set our, skip step. We then set the limit entry. So we get our long position on the 618. So these are the fib levels. I forgot to say, take a screenshot of this. This is the fake out zone. This is our entry zone. These are all the fibs. Take a picture there and we can move on. So entry goes on the 618 and stop goes on the low like that. And then take profit. Don't target a level. We don't look at anything. This is a mechanical model. We can't target an order block, a fair value gap, a liquidity, none of that. We target 3-to-1 fixed risk to reward every single time. So that is the whole trade, which is now playing out across multiple accounts. That's one we just went through, actually. Yeah. So playing out here, 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 here. Oh, that's a different trade. And yeah, cool. So that's the entire model. Let me know any questions. This NQ example is the exact same trade. We can go over that if we want, just quickly. Easier to look at it on TradingView. Let me hop over here. Just very quickly, our bias for our chart. Where's the most recent break structure? Very clearly here. Boom. Body closure over the fractal, only looking for buys. Let's hop down and look at this previous session. Highest to lowest point of Asia was here. We sweep here. We print our fake out candle. What do we do then? Highest to lowest point since the fake out candle, which was here. And we're waiting for price to touch it. Dink. Touch it here. Fake out. Check. Now we're waiting for a break of structure over a 5-minute fractal. Don't get one here. Don't get one here. I thought it was going to close here. I thought this one was going to close above here, but it didn't. Body closed here. No break, no break, no break. And boom. This was our break of structure. So as soon as this candle closed above here, I got my fib, dragged it up here, and boom. Actually, as soon as this candle closed, I actually whacked a message into the alerts chat. So you can see make alerts. As soon as that happened, NQ, break of structure, 11 o'clock on the money. Straight away, 11 o'clock, 10:55, that candle closed. Within 30 seconds, you would have an alert in your inbox if you're in the VIP. Straight away, every step that happens, you can see the different steps. You can see faked, sweep, gold break of structure, AU break of structure, NQ break of structure. So loads of stuff broke structure at the same time. And so you can see the lads just taking the piss. It doesn't usually happen like that. Usually one thing will break structure at once, but it was quite funny. And while we're here, we can have a look. This is just all the guys. Well, actually, better let's go into the VIP one. This is the free one. This is the VIP one. You can just see like every single day, lads passing accounts. Every single day. Because it's a mechanical model, you know what I mean? Like this is repeatable. Everyone's doing the same thing. So the way that I'm floating 11K in profit, everyone else is, depending on their account sizes, how many accounts they've purchased, everyone else is in profit who's trading these setups. And there's no discretion involved. So it's not like you can cock it up. The only way you can cock it up is if it's a technical error or some shit like that. So if you do want to get involved, just drop me. What's the best way to do it? You message me on Instagram. I'll put my Instagram in the link below. Shoot me a message. Honestly, man, it's the most beautiful way I've ever traded because of the mechanicalness. It's just, it frees up your mental so much. I was a fucking discretionary Daniel for years and it's just so stressful. Of course you can do it, but it's just so much more stress. Like if you have a mechanical model and a discretionary model and one will outperform one on 1 month and the other one will outperform the other one on a different month, why would you choose the discretionary model? Because you have to sit there like this and just be so focused on the charts for hours at a time. Honestly, I have to wake up, go for a walk, hit my breath work, meditate, sit there in a calm, relaxed state with no notifications on. Now I literally recording videos, editing stuff, going for walks during the trading session because I'm waiting on alerts. If nothing's near my zone, I don't need to be sitting there and just watching the charts. My chart time has, I'd say, quartered since utilizing this model. And yeah, past hundreds of thousands in funding since December utilizing this model. So really, 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 if you're struggling, drop me a message. This is the bee's knees. So that is the model. Did I finish it off? You break a structure, follow the fib up. Fib comes to the highest point here and then starts to pull back. So we typically will wait a few minutes for it sort of here. Because price is moving up. We're moving our fib up as we keep making highs and we haven't got tagged in. Keep moving it up. Why is there a second? There we go. Keep moving it up, and this is the highest point. So I usually wait a little bit for it to pull down, show some intent. It's actually going to pull back here, and then I'll set my alert. Boom, tagged in, and that is the trade that we're in here. Ooh, just edge TP there on Goldington's. Ooh, did I have my TP in the wrong place? 3 to 1. Edged it. Cool. That's it, guys. Have an amazing week, and yeah, I will speak to you soon.